New in from Lenz is the 10322-01 Silver Decoder PluX22 interface. So Plucks is a relatively new design. The idea is to replace the 21 pin, which was always a stopgap. The 21 pin was actually designed for 3-rail AC models. So there's a number of pins that aren't used in a 21 pin decoder. Okay, so the Plucks interface is a handy little thing. You'll find it in a lot of new locos, and it allows up to 9 functions to be controlled, or 9 outputs. Plus it has connections for SUSI sound and all that sort of thing. So you have a missing middle index pin on a Plucks interface. You'll see that there's one pin missing in the middle there. So when you line it up with the edges, try not to do it with the camera in the other hand, and it will just push home. So that is the Plucks installed. Now the beauty of that is there's no trailing wires, it's incredibly difficult to get it in wrong, and it allows greater functionality for manufacturers. I'm using a decoder test rig really just to sort of demonstrate what's going on here without confusing it too much. The rig allows me to show all these functions though, rather than trying to find a loco with all these functions installed. So on my system we've got, firstly, outputs 1 and 2 are the headlights and tail lights, so they're on there. Then you've got pre-mapped function 1, function 2. Function 3 is shunting speed. Function 4 turns off all the inertia, so it uses basically the loco will accelerate up and down very rapidly. Function 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, 9. So the one chip can control all of these additional functions. So in a loco they could be things like cab lights, high intensity lights, different directional light setups depending on the loco. It could also be connected to things like a smoke generator, so that there's lots of options within locos that require their own independent switching. These of course can be function mapped, and we'll talk about that at a separate time. But as they're delivered, you're using the functions I've just numbered, so 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the light outputs. 3 is reserved for shunting speed, and 4 turns off all inertia values. I'll see if we can drive the motor there. You'll probably hear it running rather than see it, because it's just got the flywheel on the end of it. So here I have a locomotive with the PluX22 interface, and a number of functions have been built in. So we'll start with 0, which is directional headlights. 1 and 2 do the red lights. You'll see something there that obviously the red lights are overlapping the white lights at the moment, so we'll talk about function mapping in a little bit. So got a cab light, other cab light, that's 5 and 6, 7, marker light, and 8, the other marker light. So there are models out there that are using all of these functions. You may want to reconfigure this model to represent the lights a little bit better. So we'll have a little play with that. So we've got the Decoder Manual here, and function mapping starts at CV33 through to CV47 on those 2 pages. The table there gives all of the outputs A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So there are 8 outputs on the decoder, and the values say which function is going to be turned on. So just follow the instructions, don't overthink it, just put in the values for the outputs that you want turned on. There's also, you'll see there, there's a slight thing they haven't translated there, but F0 forwards is controlled by CV33, F0 backwards by CV34. Now, F1 forwards by CV35, and later on they've added F1 backwards, so that function 1 and function 0 can both be directional. The other functions there are all just on-off, so it's not influenced by the direction of the loco. And there's another group if you want to use even more functions. Later on in the manual you'll find another table which is functions 13 through to 28, so you can actually see the progression of DCC in the manuals. You can see where things have been added over the years. It all started logically, and then they have to find gaps for more things. Okay, we'll just have a quick look using programming on main. With function mapping, I'm going to correct this issue where I can get the wrong lights coming up. So I want to move the rear lights to function 1 backwards, and the front lights to function 1 forwards. So using the data in the table there, we know that the red lights on this decoder are connected to outputs C and D, so that the 3rd and 4th lines in the table there. And I've just written down the values because it makes life a lot easier than trying to keep referring to tables. CV35 there is function 1 forwards, CV36 is function 2, and we want to be turning that off. CV47 is function 1 backwards. So the original values there are 4 for 35, 8 for 36 and 4 for 47, and I want to change those to 4 for 35, 0 for 36, so turning F2 off, and 8 for 47. So we'll go into programming on main on the Lenz system, and this sends the command to the last decoder address that you're using. CV35 there, enter. We want to send that a value of 4, so we'll enter that, and you'll see a little P flashes up on the screen when you do that. Escape. 36, enter, 0, and send that. Escape. 47, enter. With programming on main there's no read back, so you're just sending the information a little bit blind, but if you follow the manual you'll know exactly what to send. So 47 now I'm putting to 8, enter, escape, escape, escape. So we're out of that, back to the loco. Now when I turn function 1 on, we should have the red lights, and they alternate with the change of channel there, change of direction even. So we've achieved exactly what I want. All the other functions remain as they were allocated on the chip before. So it's a handy thing. You don't have to do it, you can just switch the functions manually whilst you're driving, but it's nice to know that you can rearrange things for better results. So with the body on, we can see headlights, tail lights, got that cabin light there, might not be, but yeah, see it there, and you can see the head code panel light as well, which is, oh, there we are. So again, Lenz's decoders give Beautiful running characteristics. And the final thing to mention is that the Lenz is RailCom enabled, and it also supports the Lenz ABC braking system. So it's a nice all-round PluX22 decoder with full function mapping available.